Oh gosh, I have no idea how to write a job description. What's up guys, Jason here, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about how to write a proper job description to attract the right type of freelancer to your business and your team. And this is so critically important because hiring the right type of person will save you so much time and headache. And let me tell you, it will cost you a lot of headache if you don't do the proper legwork for writing the right kind of job description up front, because the more time you skim off the top when you're looking for the freelancer, the more you're going to pay for it on the back end when you realize you hired the wrong person or the person you hired isn't qualified and you're stuck up at 3 a.m. fixing a website that somebody else was supposed to be doing for you. Okay, well, yeah, maybe that wasn't you. I made that mistake. It was terrible. So I'm recording this video so hopefully none of you are stuck in that situation when you have a product launch at 7 a.m. and you're up at 3 because your web developer couldn't do something seemingly basic, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and switch gears. I'm going to jump into my OneNote file and I'm going to walk you through the 3 sections that Upwork requires you to fill out when hiring a freelancer. And then I'm going to briefly talk about each one. And of course, in the description and on my blog, there'll be a full template that you can just copy paste for your own. So let's dive in. Now, the first part of your job description is going to be a little bit about you and your company, just a brief introduction, and then begin to talk about your values and what makes you different. Now, you can copy and paste as much as this as you want. There's no copyright thing or anywhere, so you can just pause the video and type it up yourself, or check out the blog or description for this entire thing. So anyway, on Upwork.com, which is what I'm going to be using, you could use any site you want, but Upwork.com has 3 different sections. Since that's kind of the largest, that's the one I'm going to focus on here. So the first question they ask is, what do you need help with? And I actually don't really answer that question because I really think it's important to say, this is who I am and this is what I believe up front so that I get the right type of freelancer. So you can start with whatever business name you want, but I'm using Act Marketing here. So I just say Act Marketing is not looking for a virtual assistant just to fill a job. We are a cutting edge, and then enter your whatever business name you are. I say solopreneur marketing company because it's just me and I talk about marketing all the time. So solopreneur marketing company, there you go. And I'm searching for the right individual who has motivation, the commitment, the skill, and the mindset to to make the most of this opportunity. Someone who makes a personal commitment to giving top quality, consistent performance, la-di-da-di-da-di-da. Our company is not looking for temporary workers who bounce from job to job. I think that's really important to include, because if you're looking to hire a freelancer, then you want someone who actually wants that long-term relationship. There are some freelancers who really just want to do one and done. Those are the kind of the more successful ones, and they know how to market themselves, and they don't really want to be tied down in a long-term relationship because they like the whole idea of, well, I work when I want and I don't work when I want, as opposed to other freelancers who are more comfortable having a longer-term relationship and saying, okay, well, I am a freelancer, but I'm okay if I have a monthly or a daily commitment. And that's kind of what the reading in between the lines is what you're doing. You're essentially saying, I'm looking for someone who's a little more committed than just like, I'm going to work whenever the hell I want. And if it's just a one-off project, then don't include something like this. But you want to include something that says, hey, I want someone who's a little more committed and not just, yeah, okay, I'll do your thing when I feel like it. And so then I go on. If this has caught your interest, you can pause the video and read this part. That's okay. And what I do talking over myself here. So what I like to do is I end that section with saying, hey, I want you to ask questions, and I want you to know that I'm actually going to review all the applications and that there is going to be a short audio interview. So this does a couple of things. Number one, it assures the person that you, just like they're taking the time to submit the proposal to you, you're going to take the time to read the proposal. So that's number one. Number two is it lets them know that
this is serious because you're actually going to get on, Skype or the phone and talk to them for a good 5 minutes. And I like putting 5 minutes so they know that you're not going to like expect like this 2 or 3 hour application process from them or long interview, right? We want to let them know that you care enough that you want to talk to them, but you're not going to waste their time because they don't want to waste their time either. So it's a balancing act here. And then finally, just giving a pay range so they know what you're looking for, because a lot of sites, depending on the site you're using, like Upwork, when you're doing by the hour, it just kind of gives the freelancer a range, so it doesn't really tell them what you're looking for. So in this particular instance, I'm looking for someone between $4 and $7 an hour to start. That way, if someone is above that range, they know not even to bother applying, and that's just something to help filter out people early on so that I'm not reading applications and they're not submitting applications when it's not a good fit. All right, now you'll notice I just deleted a paragraph because that was something that I took out from another template that I had been using. So the next question that Upwork asks you is, what will the freelancer be doing, essentially? So this is just where you describe in as much detail as you can what exactly they're going to be doing. So you just say, your role is to do ABC, and as many numbers as you can use, the better, because numbers force you to be very specific with the deliverables that you're looking for. And this is one of the big things that causes people not to want to hire freelancers, and that's the mismanagement of expectations. You always want to assume that whoever you're hiring actually wants to do a good job for you. But a lot of the problems that I found in the past, even when I thought I was being super descriptive, is you want this and your freelancer thinks you're asking for that. So you ask for rock and they give you paper, you get really upset and frustrated, and they're like, I don't understand. I gave you paper. That's what you asked for. And you're like, no, I was asking for a rock. And being on the reverse end of that, as a freelancer and a consultant part-time, I can tell you that there are a lot of people out there that post job descriptions asking for a rock. I give them paper and they really wanted scissors. So when you're describing your task, you want to be excruciating when it comes to the details of what you're looking for and the final deliverable. And that will also force you to know what you are looking for, because it'll keep you happy with the end deliverable. So another tip here, in addition to trying to use as many numbers as you can, is write the description and then walk away for 10 minutes and then come back and read it again and see what you missed, because it's the most important part of all of your description, is making sure that you are concrete on what you are asking for. So you'll see here, I just went through and I tell them what I'm looking for. I give links to examples of what I'm looking for. If you can give examples, that's great. I break down the different parts of what I'm looking for, because there's multiple deliverables here. And that does it for you can always pause the video or check out the description. I'm trying to keep these videos shorter. This one's already probably over 10 minutes, doing a terrible job. So anyway, here we go. So the final question is, what qualities are needed to be successful? And admittedly, this is the part where I get a little corny, because I'm going to be able to see their skills and the way they communicate from their cover letter and the portfolio that they submit. So I don't really need them to explicitly tell me what their skill set is, because I'm going to be able to evaluate them in our interview and in their portfolio and see if they're up to par. I'm just looking at their previous work examples and saying, okay, yes, this is the quality I'm looking for, or no, I need a little bit more, so I'm going to pay a little bit more. So that's why I don't really focus on skill set with this particular question. Instead, as you can see, I go the corny route. And I even say it's corny. I say, as corny as it sounds, there are really two qualities I'm looking for: integrity and commitment, because skills can be learned. Okay, on these sites, you're posting jobs to people who are skilled to do it. So it's given that you're going to be able to find someone who can deliver the work. What's not given is if you're going to find someone who is committed to you and your team and your success, and someone who's going to be honest. And honesty and commitment are the big thing, because integrity is the difference between a freelancer who produces the blog post for me and then refuses to do any edits when they made a mistake, and the freelancer who admits they made a mistake and does the edits without trying to charge me extra. Now, if I made a mistake, I'll own up to that and pay them more because I didn't describe the thing properly. So that's why I put this here. And then I'm going to look, and you'll see in future videos, I'm going to look to see if anyone responds to this and say, hey, I really resonate with that. Now, given the fact that this is going out across the globe, I know from previous experience with other cultures, they most likely will gloss over it. But I'm going to put it there anyway because it allows me to point to it later, either in the interview process or when I'm working with them and say, hey, I said that these were the two most important things. I just need you to be honest with me. And I need someone who's committed to coming with me to grow. Now, the final thing I want to point out is I end the description with exactly what I want from them. So again, I remind them that yes, I am going to read these personally because they're making a time investment to submit a proposal, even if they don't get the job. I want to say, hey, I'm going to take the time to read this proposal that you're giving in. So you're going to do some work. I'm going to do some work. Hopefully we can work together. If not, we both invested time in making sure that this was or was not a good fit, as opposed to, he or she just throws me a templated document and then I just glance over and go, whatever, and then delete. And then we've both wasted our time. So both parties are putting in time to see if it's a good match. So that's number one. Number two is the fact that I explicitly ask for work samples, and I ask them to ask me questions. Actually, I ask them multiple times. And this is something I found that's really important, particularly when you're working with some other cultures where it's not culturally appropriate to ask your boss questions. There are several cultures out there where it's the cultural norm. It's okay to say yes, 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 and then just not do the work or do a really crummy job, as opposed to saying, what the heck do you mean? Or I don't think I can do that. And so I want to open that door as much as possible because, and this is just a cultural thing. This is part of hiring outside of, the US and Canada. You have to realize that in those particular cultures, it's better to just say yes, and then they won't deliver, as opposed to here in this particular part of the world, it's okay to say, yeah, I think I can do that, but it's going to take me more time, or yeah, I think I can do that, but I'm going to need to go, learn it or whatever. So just opening the door to say, please ask me questions. 9.9 out of 10 of them won't anyway, but hey, at least you tried, right? And then finally, I add something, I can't remember where I picked this up, but essentially I say, in your proposal, please start the first line with purple elephant, so I know you actually read the complete job description. And that's just something you can throw in there. Some people throw it in the middle, others throw it at the very beginning. You can put it kind of wherever you want, but essentially just saying, hey, can you please prove to me that you actually read this, as opposed to you're just throwing up a templated response. And then I end with, don't be shy, ask questions, smiley face. That's the first time I've done that. We'll see how it works, because I've done this enough to where I just need people to ask me questions. My number one complaint over hiring freelancers is them not asking enough questions and just saying yes, 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 even with some in the States. And then later on, them coming back and say, oh, well, I can't really do that, or can we do this instead of that? And then I have to go, no, because this was the job. So anyway, I'm going to get off that horse because I just want to make sure that you guys aren't stuck up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., talking to someone halfway around the world, trying to get them to understand that you just want the color to be green and not beige or whatever the heck the problem was. I can't even remember. I just know I lost a lot of sleep that week. So hopefully I'm saving you some sleep and some money in terms of lost resources hiring the wrong freelancer.
Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video informative and actionable. If you got some value out of it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe for more business building tactics and strategies just like the ones covered in this video. Over on my YouTube channel, I'm going from A to Z on building an online business and consulting practice completely from scratch with all of you watching live. So I hope you'll join me on this journey of hopeful zero to hero. I don't know if I'll make it. It's all live. This isn't scripted or anything. And I'll see you in the next video. And until then, keep building the business you love.